Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters,
this is a journey into sound.
You take it back, it's mine. And everything's gonna be just like it used to be.
You're listening to Sports Journey with Lake Lewis.
Welcome everyone, Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis, right here on the Sports Journey Broadcast Network. Great show lined up for you today. We're going to talk Major League Baseball, spring training in full effect. Obviously, at the top page of sportsjourney.com, you see the new scoreboard up there, and we'll give you your baseball fix as well as hockey, NBA when the NFL comes back around, NCAA tournament coming up. We have that on the top of the page. I had to get that plug in there and throw that in there. Coming up shortly, I think 10 minutes or so, that's what my folks tell me, Billy Ladson, who does a great job breaking down the Washington Nationals, the senior writer for MajorLeagueBaseball.com. He's been on the show several times over the years. We'll have him come on, and it's good to be a Washington National right now. You know, a lot of expectations are placed on this team, and we'll see if they can rise to the occasion. Last year, magical season came to an abrupt halt against St. Louis, but I still feel like this team learned something from that heartbreaking defeat. But, hey, you don't need to get it from me. You need to get it from the guy who's been covering that team from day one. We'll find out when Bill Ladson comes on shortly. College hoops. You know we can't go without talking college hoops here on Sports Journey with Lake Lewis. Of course we're going to do that. And I mentioned something a couple weeks ago. Remember, right here on this show, I mentioned that you could have this year several number one seeds have a scare put in them. But yesterday, remember, we had an abbreviated show. I had to go down and cover a local NBA team here. I mentioned that I do think this year, if you are a number one seed, you're better off because there's so much parity. You want to try to get the best possible matchup in your first game. But with that said, my school, my alma mater, goes off and pulls off a stunning upset. That's right, PSU, Penn State. And that's the only time you ever hear me say that in this program, unless it's about the company, but we beat Michigan. And Michigan was a team that I thought realistically they're going to be a number 2 seed, at worst a number 3 seed, but I still thought they had an outside chance if they could, run the table the rest of the remaining part of the year in the Big Ten schedule, maybe go on and win the Big Ten Conference Championship. They perhaps could have been a number 1 seed. That's not going to happen now. When you lose to a team that gets its first conference win, and it's hard for me to say that having played there, it's been some tough times at Penn State. I do think Coach Chambers is a really good coach. I do, and I think he's going to do a lot of great things there. But that was a good win for the program, a bad loss for Michigan's program. Michigan's program has really recovered over the last several years. I think that they've done a wonderful job recruiting. They've got some great talent there. But for them to lose that game, that's a tough blow. And therefore, it's going to open up those questions. And that's one of the questions that I'm asking you now. Is a 16 seed possible? Is it possible for them to get a number 1 seed this year? Sure, it's possible. They have to play the game. You don't know the outcome until the end of the game. But normally, a 16 seed has no shot against a number 1 seed. That's almost a laughable game at best. This year, things could be very interesting. If last night was a prelude of what you can see coming up in the NCAA tournament, it's going to be really interesting. As always, folks, as we go along, if you want to chime in, you want to get involved in the show, you can email me at shows@sportsjourney.com. We'll read your email on live air. We can be reached out via Skype at Sports Journey, and same thing via Twitter, same thing via Facebook. It's Sports Journey. Very simple. If you want to reach out to me on my personal Twitter account, it's at Lake Lewis. If you want to reach out to me on my personal Facebook. Yes, it's personal, but I guess it's not really personal because I'm making it public by telling you about it. It's Lake Lewis Jr. Make sure you put the JR at the end of that, or you'll be getting someone a lot older than me and maybe not as good looking as me. I'm just playing. I'm just teasing. I have to go home and hear that. So one of the things that you can see clearly in the show, you see in the video, is there's a beard growing in here. And it's not really growing in, it's grown in. And I don't know what it is, but I've had more comments about that than, hey, Lake, you do good work. Hey, Lake, you're a nice gentleman. Hey, I saw your wife and daughter. They said hi. It's more conversation now about the beard. I can't possibly understand it. So yesterday, I'm covering the Wizards game, and I walk into the media room, and it was almost like the music stopped when I walked in. Everyone's looking at me. And I'm thinking, okay, do I have some crumbs on my face? Do I have a spot on my clothes? It's something I'm thinking, not really knowing that I have the beard on. The beard has been a conversation. No, I'm not going to grow it like James Harden. I'm not trying to rival him. I'm not trying to get into a beard race or anything like that. But I like it. And I think as long as you keep it groomed, you should be able to get away with it. Just a thought. We'll see. I'm not going to come out and make a prediction. I'm going to grow the beard out until, the Nats or the Wizards or the Redskins or someone local, the Capitals, until they win a championship. I'm not going to do that. That thing may be dragging down to the ground. I'm not going to do that. But it's just surprising that everyone's talking about that. So you're getting it in the video now. Hey, that's just the way it is. Question of the day. I got a good one for you folks. Last night, Stephen Curry drops 54 against the New York Knicks. A little bit later on, when we get into our NBA segment, we will be breaking that down. Madison Square Garden has always been the home for the New York Knicks to be a victim of someone having a big-time game. I think you go back to the days of Bernard King, and hopefully I'm not dating myself right now. He was like the lone Knick that would go in and put up big-time points against a team coming in on the road. But it always seems like someone from another team gets up to play in the greatest arena in the country, as they called it, and they go crazy. Stephen Curry, 11 three-pointers last night. That's 33 in itself. I can do the math. I have a degree. 54 on the game. He drops. That's called doing work. I mean, that's serious work being put in. Either it was Matador defense, and I saw it. He was hitting everything he threw up. The kid's a great shooter, phenomenal scorer. And when you talk about point guards in the NBA, Stephen Curry's name is going to have to start being mentioned because, yeah, you kind of look at him as a two guard because he can score that naturally. However, he's point guard. He's legitimately playing the point for Golden State. And I think right now, he's having one of those years, again, you're going to have to start putting his name in the upper echelon, the elites of point guard play in the NBA. 54 points will do that for you, too, to confirm that statement. So, with that said, I want to ask the question. We're going to go to break. Before we go to break, the question of the day. What's the hardest thing to do in sports? Think about it. Some people say hit a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Some people say you hit for the cycle in baseball. I say dropping 50 or more points in the NBA. I just, that's hard. That's not something that's supposed to happen. We're not talking about a big man doing it. We're talking about a guy 6'2", 6'3", dropping 54 on the road. And you know he's a shooter. So pretty phenomenal stuff. Give me your thoughts on hardest things to do in sports. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get back to our baseball coverage. Bill Ladson from the Washington Nationals should be joining us when we come back. Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis. Thank you, everyone.
Tired of lugging out your heavy, bulky pressure cleaner? You need the amazing Water Jet. It turns your ordinary garden hose into a super power washer, powerful enough to clean second-story windows. Here's how it works. Water flows through the volume reduction chambers where pressure builds until a powerful jet stream blasts through the precision-engineered solid brass tip. The control valve regulates the water pressure, great for siding, umbrellas, and awnings. Blast grime and weeds off brick and paver driveways. It attaches to any garden hose so you can take it along boating and camping. Quality built with stainless steel, aluminum, and solid brass, and only $19.95. You'll also get the bonus fan tip that creates a powerful fan-shaped spray. Scour away mold, scrub wood decks and docks, patios and pool decks, cars and trucks. Dial back the pressure to gently water flowers. There's more. We'll double the offer. You'll get 2 amazing water jets and 2 fan tips for only $19.95. Just pay additional processing and handling. Call to get the jet.
To order water jet, call 1-800-973-9853. Call now and we'll double the offer. Call 1-800-973-9853.
NCAA women's basketball. All day, every day, our game. Filling it up, knocking them down, and bringing it home. It's basketball at its purest. For family fun and great entertainment, there's nothing like it. NCAA women's basketball. All day, every day, our game.
Dear Bowflex, I dropped 8 dress sizes, 36 pounds, and all I had to do was walk.
This is the Bowflex Tread Climber machine, the easiest way to walk and burn up to twice the calories in less time. By combining the motion of a treadmill, a stepper, and an elliptical, you get the calorie-burning benefits of all 3 workouts at once.
I lost 30 pounds in 4 months. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Call now for your free DVD and information kit. You'll see how the Tread Climber burns up to twice the calories of a treadmill. Plus, you'll learn how you can own a Tread Climber machine today with special financing for 18 months.
Within the first couple of weeks, I started to lose inches. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months using the Tread Climber.
Call or go online to buytc.com for your free info kit. We'll also send you the Bowflex Insider's Guide with a personal fitness assessment to help you jumpstart your Bowflex body today, absolutely free.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bowflex.
Sincerely, J.D. Weber.
Attention if you have diabetes.
Hello, I'm Alan Thicke. As the father of a child with diabetes, it's important that I keep up to date with the latest in treatments and technology. That's why I'm happy to tell you about a breakthrough in diabetes care through CCS Medical. You don't need to stick your fingers anymore. This new meter allows you to test on your arm, so it's virtually pain-free. Plus, it uses gold test strips. Real laser-etched gold in every strip provides the ideal testing surface for one of the most accurate readings possible. Best of all, CCS Medical can send you this meter at no cost. With CCS Medical, they deliver your diabetes supplies to your home. They work with Medicare or your insurance to process the paperwork. They even have nurses certified in diabetes available to answer questions. And for a limited time, CCS Medical will also send you a diabetes ID bracelet. All this from a company trusted and recommended by thousands of doctors around the country. Call CCS Medical today.
If you want to shed fat and get a body that's shredded, then it's time to get on the rack. The Rack is a complete total body workout system, and it's the hardcore hardware that adds a whole new dimension of variety and intensity to traditional body weight exercises. You get explosive chest, shoulders, and back, big arm blast, and ripped abs on the rack, a fat shredder workout, and a total body muscle building express workout, totally ripped on the rack. Order now and get this special Get Ripped on the Rack 30-day trial for just $14.99. When you order, also ask how you can get the Rack system shipped right to your door for free. As an added bonus, you'll get the Rack Nutritional Guide, custom workout guide, and special Bartender's Workout DVD, plus shipping. That's a total value of $60, all for free. But only if you order right now. Call now and order the Rack Total Body Workout System for this special 30-day trial of just $14.99.
Car owners, does your vehicle have less than 120,000 miles on it? Is it less than 10 years old? Is your current auto warranty about to expire? Well, Cover America Auto Care has a very special offer just for you. With current economic conditions causing bankruptcies and a downturn in new car sales, Cover America Auto Care now offers inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage direct to the public. You can save thousands of dollars on auto repairs. A toll-free line has been made available so car owners can call and get a free no-obligation quote. This auto protection is backed by an A-rated insurance carrier. Plus, you get a claims department that has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. 24-hour emergency roadside assistance is also included. You will be amazed at how much you can save on future car repair bills. So call for your free, no-obligation quote now. Do not wait. Get covered today and rest easy tonight.
This is not a workout. This is a revolution. This is Shake Weight for men, and it's going to kick your butt.
Whew, that's it.
In just 6 minutes. Guaranteed. Ordinary weights isolate one muscle in one direction, but Shake Weight harnesses the power of dynamic inertia to totally redefine strength training. As you shake, the weights at each end fire and recoil rapidly. This piston-like motion sends a shockwave of energy that forces your muscles to contract as many as 240 times a minute. So you build definition, size, and strength fast. And now this technological breakthrough in strength training can be yours for just $29.95. Shake Weight is science fact, not fiction. A leading biomechanics research center proved that 6 minutes with the Shake Weight burns as much muscle energy as 42 with a standard dumbbell. You get ripped, defined, and stronger, fast, guaranteed. Call and order now, and we'll also send you this 6-minute upper body workout DVD. It's everything you need to add size, definition, and strengthen your chest, triceps, biceps, and shoulders. Technology is all about packing mega performance in less space, right? Shake Weight proves it. That's why it comes with this ironclad kick butt guarantee. Do the Shake Weight workout just once. If your arms, chest, and shoulders aren't on fire in just 6 minutes, return it for a 100% refund. We'll even pay return shipping.
Whew, that's it.
3 exercises, 6 minutes, and the faster you shake, the more intense and challenging your workout. Think you can handle it? Then call now and build muscle and definition in just 6 minutes a day with Shake Weight for Men.
If you're disabled and unable to work, pay attention to the following message.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be entitled to disability benefits through Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right if you suffer from a physical or mental disability. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. You'll be matched up with an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, deal with Social Security for you, and handle all appeals. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. To get started, call the number on your screen now. And keep in mind, there are a vast number of conditions that make you eligible for disability benefits and dozens of additions that you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call the Citizens Disability Helpline today for a free, no-obligation consultation.
Call 1-800-735-0219. Call now.
Hi, I'm Shannon Doherty. I've produced, I've directed, but now I'm doing something I've always wanted to do. I'm going to get my college degree. I logged on to Education Connection, the free service that showed me hundreds of schools and degrees.
Welcome back, everyone. Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis, and as promised, we're going to bring in a gentleman who needs no introduction. He's been on this program before, back on the days of ESPN Radio. Mr. Bill Ladson does a great job covering the Washington Nationals, a writer for MLB.com. Let's bring him in. Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Doing great. How about you?
I'm pretty good, and you know, I have to ask you a question real quick off the record. This has nothing to do with the Nationals, but this is something that I'm doing in the show because I've been growing a beard, and I need to know from you, have you ever grown a beard?
Yes, I have. Matter of fact, the last time I had one, believe it or not, was in 1989.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and I never grew another one. So, you know, but I had a mustache forever until 2000. So I've been clean shaving really ever since 2000.
Yeah, I've been growing it out, and you know, people have been getting on me, so I'm looking at the Clippers like every night. So we'll just see how it goes. We'll see what happens. But you are I'm sure a man in high demand right now, and I remember the days of when you used to graciously come on my program on ESPN Radio, and people used to say the Nationals. Well, now the Nationals are, you know, one of the favorites to win the World Series this year. How has life changed for you now?
Oh, man, it's always peaches and cream, and I mean, nothing changed there. I mean, I'm not playing the game. I'm just writing about it. But other than that, I mean, it's been great watching this team play. I think the biggest thing is that they brought in real character guys, guys who really care about the game, not going to blame the media when things are going wrong. So I think that's the big difference. That's a big difference now than when it was, let's say, when Manny Actor was the manager of the Nationals. Yeah,
you know, and they go out this year. They go in and bring in another closer in Soriano, and some people will say, well, wait a minute, what about Drew Storen? You know, even though he had the quote-unquote collapse, if you want to call it that, against the Cardinals in the divisional series, you still have to give them credit for still trying to upgrade at each position. And I think in the offseason, them signing Adam LaRoche again, I thought that was, to me, the biggest move they made all offseason. And I think this solidifies them, Bill.
Oh, there's no question about it. I mean, I think, to me, defensively alone, I think he was the MVP because, I mean, to me, he made Desmond and Espinosa and Ryan Zimmerman better. He prevented a lot of errors. It was all because of, LaRoche. So, and then, to me, he was the MVP from the offensive standpoint, too. So I'm not surprised that they re-signed him. And luckily, they were able to get 2 years out of this deal.
Well, you know, if you look at the makeup of the team, they have power now. I mean, they've got their leadoff hitter and span that they've always wanted. It appears, yes, that the Nationals on paper have everything that you would want for a contending team. The question I have for you is, because you were there, you saw the way that game ended against St. Louis, and a lot of people don't understand with athletes, those are things that get into your psyche, and it's tough to get out of that. Do you feel like that can affect this team, or that may make this team stronger?
No, because they have Davey Johnson, and Davey Johnson, I'm seeing a lot of arrogance on this team now because they're not saying, oh, we could win the World Series. They're saying they are going to win the World Series, and I'm sure you're aware of Davey Johnson's slogan this year, World Series or bust. So
it's a lot of pressure.
I'm expecting, I don't expect nothing to change. I mean, obviously, if things go wrong this time, I don't think Davey Johnson is going to hesitate to make a change. So, it helps. They better their bullpen with Soriano, and getting the Roche back, like I said earlier, it was a big deal.
As you know, I'm credential media, NFL media as well, outside of baseball and basketball. Well, this is my question. A couple of Redskins players, I'm going to call them out here. I'm not going to mention their names. I'll just call them out collectively. I posed a question to some of those guys that if the Nationals were to go on and win the World Series, could they possibly be kingpin here in D.C.? And they were like, absolutely not. We could go 500 and still be kingpin. I beg to differ with that. I think this town is looking for a champion anywhere they can get it, and whoever gets to that finish line first may take over this town. I mean, what do you think?
I think there's no question about it. I think, obviously, for most of the years I covered this team, the Redskins have been number one. There's no question. But I think now, with the way the Nationals are going now, I think if they win the World Series, I think no question they'll be the king of the nation's capital. Just because of the players Mike Rizzo has been able to, acquire. I mean, they have guys from the farm system that's going to be around for years. I mean, you're talking about Strasburg, Harper, Ryan Zimmerman even, and
Desmond.
I mean, really have guys that, fans can really hold on to.
Yeah, and and the one thing that I think that they've done really well, the Nationals as an organization, is they've made their farm system, a strong thing there. And you've got some great young talent there. Maybe one or two guys you may see at some point this year, But this isn't a team that's front loaded and that's it. They've got some things here brewing where I truly believe that the Nationals have put themselves in position to be the old Atlanta Braves. I mean, maybe they'll take it one step further and win a couple of them, but I do think that they've taken that from that page.
I totally agree because, already the Nationals are talking about a guy by the name of Brian Goodwin, who's going to be the center fielder by 2015. I mean, they're already talking about him replacing Darren Span. I mean, that's how much they believe in their farm system. I mean, yeah, are they going to, go out and sign some big deals from free agency? There's no doubt about it. But I think the majority is going to be similar to the Braves. Is going to be relying on their farm system more than anything else.
If you look at their rotation now, I mean, do you think unequivocally maybe San Francisco? I think San Francisco's they're pretty good. Their rotation's great.
Right.
Do you think the Nationals, with the acquisitions that they've made in the offseason, do you feel like maybe they surpassed San Francisco as a rotation completely?
No, I'm not gonna do that now because the way they've handled themselves, not only starting pitching wise, but from the bullpen as well. I mean, they had two different closers for those two championship clubs. So
that's crazy.
I will never underestimate the Giants. And to tell you the truth, I think a lot of people underestimated the Giants last year. I don't think no one expected the Giants to go all the way they did, and I'll never underestimate them.
Well, I just think it was sitting so nicely for the Nationals. They pretty much had their way with the Giants during the regular season. And it appeared that if they could have gotten by St. Louis, but anyway, I know you're thinking that's hypotheticals. Why are we even talking about that? So, getting back to the good stuff, the division that they're in, and folks, right now we're talking with Bill Ladson. He's done a great job covering the Nationals. Also, MajorLeagueBaseball.com. You can check him out. Great work. He's been a friend of this program for a long time. You look at the division that they're in. Last year, I think a lot of people really didn't understand that the Philadelphia Phillies were just banged up. You saw when they started getting bodies back towards the end of the year, they looked like the Phillies, and they gave us some problems too down the stretch. But if you look at them this year, I do think that they should be, again, a good baseball team. You look at, Miami, they should be a good baseball team. The Mets should be a good baseball team. But here it is, the Atlanta Braves, by going out and doing what they did, getting the Upton brothers together, I think that Atlanta is the serious threat to us in this division. Do you agree with that?
I do agree, but I will never count out the Phillies either.
Okay.
Because,
smart move.
although they have some injuries, I like the fact that they were able to acquire Ben Revere.
Yeah, that's big.
The center fielder. I think that was a great deal for them. I think getting Dylan Young was another good deal for them because last year their outfield play was not good at all. It really wasn't. So I think they've improved in that way. And if Roy Halladay can come back and stay healthy, again, for that reason, just for the starting pitching alone, I can't underestimate the
Phillies.
I really can't.
They got old real quick, though. They did.
I mean, Jimmy Rollins, and before they traded Victorino, he didn't look good either. I totally get it, what you're saying. And yes, you talked about the Braves earlier. You can't underestimate them. You really can't because, I think they picked up good deals by getting the Upton brothers. I do agree that getting rid of Martin Prado, I don't know, because this is a guy that killed the Nationals the last few years.
He sure did. Good riddance.
Let's see what happens, what the Braves do without him. So we'll see what happens. And they have a great bullpen, so you can't underestimate that.
Okay, two more things, folks. We have Bill Ladson, gracious enough to come on with us. Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis. We're on until 6 today, so mark that in your calendars, 3 to 6, permanently here. Going back to this team, they're set to make a run for the World Series. You just said yourself that the players have a little bit of arrogance now where they really feel like that's what they're supposed to do. Last year were breakout years for a lot of guys. Ian Desmond jumps to mind. Could have been MVP of the team. Obviously, Bryce Harper came on the scene. This year, who do you expect to take that next big step? I mean, to be pretty much a household name around Major League Baseball fans and in-house.
Regarding the Nationals?
Yes.
I'm really thinking. I've been high on Ian Desmond for a long time.
Okay.
And I think that he's going to be the guy that's really going to take it another notch. I mean, Davey Johnson has already compared him to Barry Larkin.
Wow.
And I got news for you.
Hall of Famer.
Davey Johnson has called Barry Larkin the best player he ever managed. So,
wow.
That all could. I'm expecting big things from Desmond. I'm also expecting big things from Danny Espinosa. If he can cut down on the strikeouts, and I think, I'm expecting him to be a complete player. If he cuts down on the strikeouts, then big things will happen.
Do you feel this team will miss Mike Morse at all? I mean, because the Beast gave them that bat. He gave them some power, and I think he was a great guy in the locker room, in the clubhouse. Does this team miss him at all?
No. I'm really surprised. Some of the people are making a big deal about it, because I got news for you. I thought one of the reasons the Nationals lost last year in the postseason was because I thought the Cardinals were taking advantage of Michael Morris in the outfield.
Yeah.
Because they were taking the extra base at all costs. Every time they would get a base hit, it would be stretched into a double. And I think part of the reason, too, was that I thought Michael Morris was hurt last year with I thought he had a leg injury, although he didn't say that. That's what I think happened. So I think they have a better defensive outfield without Mike Morris, and I love the guy. But I don't think they're going to miss him. I think they got enough to replace him. I'm expecting a big year out of Bryce Harper as well.
Well, look, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Closing comments. I'm going to put you on the spot. Folks talking with Bill Ladson. Great cover guy. He does a great job covering the Nationals. MLB.com. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Bill. Everyone's talking about it. You said Davey Johnson said it himself, World Series or bust. Give me what you think for this team this year.
You know what? I think I've already made a prediction already. I think they're going to win 108 games. I think I really believe that they can go as far as the World Series. I mean, I hate to say they're going to go all the way, but as of right now, I want to say they're going to go all the way.
I mean, seriously, how many games? Do you think that they're? I mean, just give me like a ballpark figure. They had 99 last year. What would you say this year?
Well, I think they're going to better the record. I think the 86 Mets won 108 games, and I think the Nationals are going to top that. And that 86 team was Davey Johnson's team, so that's what I think is going to happen.
So you pretty much just said it. If they top that, I mean, you would think that they would be in the World Series. So
yes.
Well, look, my friend. Obviously, I'm going to be reaching out to you as the season goes through, and couldn't think of a better person. I can say this safely. You have paid your dues, and now it's your time to shine with this team. All right.
Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, take care, Bill. I appreciate you coming on.
You got it, man. Anytime.
Folks, Bill Ladson does a great job. I mean, you just heard that right there. He's covered this team through thick and thin, and now it's real thick for the Washington Nationals. And, yes, they are one of the odds-on favorites to win the World Series this year. Bill Ladson says he thinks that they're going to win 108 or more. That's a lot of wins, folks. And he said it. Davey Johnson's last team, 86 Mets, won 108 games, went on and won that World Series. And Davey Johnson is really high on this team, having more talent, more character, just the whole nine. This team is expected to do some great things. So, look, folks, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, more right here. Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis, in studio here in Leesburg, Virginia. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
Car owners, does your vehicle have less than 120,000 miles on it? Is it less than 10 years old? Is your current auto warranty about to expire? Well, Cover America Auto Care has a very special offer just for you. With current economic conditions causing bankruptcies and a downturn in new car sales, Cover America Auto Care now offers inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage direct to the public. You can save thousands of dollars on auto repairs. A toll-free line has been made available so car owners can call and get a free no-obligation quote. This auto protection is backed by an A-rated insurance carrier. Plus, you get a claims department that has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. 24-hour emergency roadside assistance is also included. You will be amazed at how much you can save on future car repair bills. So call for your free, no obligation quote now. Do not wait. Get covered today and rest easy tonight.
This is not a workout. This is a revolution. This is Shake Weight for men, and it's going to kick your butt.
Whew, that's it.
In just 6 minutes. Guaranteed. Ordinary weights isolate one muscle in one direction, but Shake Weight harnesses the power of dynamic inertia to totally redefine strength training. As you shake, the weights at each end fire and recoil rapidly. This piston-like motion sends a shockwave of energy that forces your muscles to contract as many as 240 times a minute. So you build definition, size, and strength fast. And now this technological breakthrough in strength training can be yours for just $29.95. Shake Weight is science fact, not fiction. A leading biomechanics research center proved that 6 minutes with the Shake Weight burns as much muscle energy as 42 with a standard dumbbell. You get ripped, defined, and stronger, fast, guaranteed. Call and order now, and we'll also send you this 6-minute upper body workout DVD. It's everything you need to add size, definition, and strengthen your chest, triceps, biceps, and shoulders. Technology is all about packing mega performance in less space, right? Shake Weight proves it. That's why it comes with this ironclad kick butt guarantee. Do the Shake Weight workout just once. If your arms, chest, and shoulders aren't on fire in just 6 minutes, return it for a 100% refund. We'll even pay return shipping.
Whew, that's it.
3 exercises, 6 minutes, and the faster you shake, the more intense and challenging your workout. Think you can handle it? Then call now and build muscle and definition in just 6 minutes a day with Shake Weight for Men.
If you're disabled and unable to work, pay attention to the following message.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be entitled to disability benefits through Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right if you suffer from a physical or mental disability. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. You'll be matched up with an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, deal with Social Security for you, and handle all appeals. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. To get started, call the number on your screen now. And keep in mind, there are a vast number of conditions that make you eligible for disability benefits and dozens of additions that you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call the Citizens Disability Helpline today for a free, no-obligation consultation.
Call 1-800-735-0219. Call now.
Hi, I'm Shannon Doherty. I've produced, I've directed, but now I'm doing something I've always wanted to do. I'm going to get my college degree. I logged on to Education Connection, the free service that showed me hundreds of schools and degrees. Now I'm getting my degree in liberal arts. But you could get yours in business, in nursing, even a degree in technology. Let Education Connection help you find the right program for free.
Log on now to 41educationmatching.com. That's 41educationmatching.com.
And we're back to Sports Journey with Lake Lewis on the Sports Journey Broadcast Network.
Great segment just now with Billy Ladson. Did a great job, as always. That guy's come on for years on the program and back on the days of ESPN. And I remember. I'm going to call some folks out right now. Well, I'm not going to give names. So you can't call people out and give their names. It's just not good. So Bill Ladson, though, when he used to come on, I remember walking in the building. It was always, hey, Lake, who you have coming on today? Dwight Howard? Who you got coming on today? Don King? And then when you say, oh, I got a great guy coming on, covers the Nationals. And they'd say the Nationals. It was almost like a nasty taste in your mouth. That was the look I got. Bitter beer face. But that guy now is going to be everywhere. Trust me, you will hear the name Bill Ladson. I mean, he just does some great work, obviously, not just with the Nationals. You can go to MLB.com, see some of his stuff there. But the Nationals are the chic pick to win the World Series this year. They're one of the teams that everyone's counting on and, to be there at the end. And he came out and said it himself. 108 victories or more. That's crazy. 99 last year. That's an 8-game improvement. That's if they win 108 games, they're going to be in the World Series. Safe to say that. I mean, that you're dominant. This is a good problem for Major League Baseball because I've always said that to see expansion teams come up real fast, I think it's a good thing for the game because it gives you new traditions, gives you new fan bases, that's for sure. I have a story to tell. I was on the air in Orlando at ESPN Radio, and I actually got season tickets to the Nationals' first season, although I lived in Orlando. And it was awesome. My wife bought them for me. And, I was at the first game. Went with my brother-in-law, took him with me, and saw the opening pitch, RFK Stadium. George W. Bush, or W, as they called him, threw out the first pitch. A lot of boos, though. I will say that. That was the first time in my life anywhere covering an event or being a fan that I saw someone get just unmercifully booed. It was just ruthless. Shame on you, folks. Got to put the politics aside. You still got to give credit where credit is due. So that was bad. So anyway, Major League Baseball. I mean, there's so many storylines this year with Major League Baseball that the Nationals are one of those major storylines, but they're not it. They're not the only storyline. You know, we talked about Bill and myself briefly. The Atlanta Braves, they're a storyline. They were right there tooth and nail with the Nationals all year long. They've upgraded their team in a lot of ways. Their pitching staff was solid last year. They go in and they bring in another Upton brother. So they're going to have a formidable hitting team. You know, you pair that team up, in my opinion, with bats to maybe the Yankees. Those teams are fireworks, instant fireworks, and I think that is where the Nationals slightly separate themselves. I don't think they're that much better than the Atlanta Braves, but I do think that they have the better rotation. I think that them bringing in Soriano as an extra closer, or maybe even as their featured closer, and Drew Storen goes back to the extra closer, maybe even a setup guy in some situations. I think that the Nationals have definitely better rotation. More storylines. You know, you look at Josh Hamilton, leaves the Rangers, goes to Anaheim. And now if you look at what's happening in Anaheim, I mean, they've put together something there too. But again, I'm not sold with their pitching staff. I don't think that the pitching staff for the Anaheim Angels is, well, let me rephrase that, folks. It's the Los Angeles Anaheim Angels. I can't stand that. I just LA to me. But still, they've put together some things that I think are going to be, pretty exciting out there. Albert Pujols, second year there. I think he's going to play much better baseball than he did last year. Just didn't look like his old self. Different, location, moving over from the National League to the American League. Little things like that, can play a part in how someone plays. I think this year he puts his name back out there as the best player in baseball. I really do. I think that you're going to see that type of production and performance from Albert Pujols this year, and it's not going to hurt that Mike Trout will be in his second year. It's not going to hurt, that they bring in a Josh Hamilton. They've got a lot of pieces there. While you're in L.A., you flip over to the National League and you look at the Dodgers. They go out and bring in Greinke, and Zach Greinke, and I think that this is a kid that was considered one of the elite pitchers in baseball. Magic Johnson and their group out there, they want to win. They want to win, and they want to win now. And let's face it, they don't want to be outdone, by the Angels. They don't. So they go out and they're trying to make it happen. Lots of different storylines in baseball. Derek Jeter was injured last year in the playoffs against the Orioles. He comes back from a break. He comes back from was it a broken fibula? So he comes back, and some people were questioning, was it over for him? Is this the last we're going to see of Derek Jeter? And he's like, absolutely not. That guy's the face, the heart and soul, the face. Whatever you want him to be, the janitor, the custodian, the bus driver, whatever you need him to, the chef. He's everything to the New York Yankees. And anyone out there that did not believe that, and I have some friends who, A-Rod fans, and they used to argue back and forth that A-Rod was the real best player for the Yankees. And no, the face of the New York Yankees is Derek Jeter. I mean, my goodness, I've asked this question for years. If you had to put together a Mount Rushmore of the New York Yankees, think about what I'm asking you here before you say, oh, no, this is crazy. I said this. If you had to put together 4 faces of the New York Yankees, Mount Rushmore, naturally Babe Ruth is on there. So everyone says after that, oh, that's easy. Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig. You know what? Slow down just a little bit, because if you look at Derek Jeter's numbers and the championships, modern era, media world that you live in, that we live in, that we're all part of, that I am part of, think about the scrutiny that comes with today's athletes, and he's playing for the most storied baseball franchise in all of baseball, in the biggest media market in the world. I think you would seriously have to contemplate putting Derek Jeter on that Mount Rushmore. I really do. 4 Yankees. Tell me for it clearly. And when I say clearly, unequivocally surpass him. Naturally, Babe Ruth does. Naturally, in my opinion, you think of Lou Gehrig. You know he's a great player. You know the streak, the Iron Horse. You know the streak that he had before Cal Ripken broke that. But numbers, look at the championships. You got a guy like Yogi Berra, Mickey Mantle. I mean, there's some great, we know the history. Reggie Jackson, we know the history. But I'm telling you right now with a straight face, I think Derek Jeter, in my opinion, just my humble opinion, I've been wrong many times, not right on my own show, but I think I have him at 3 or 4. I really do. I know people are just going out of control right now. We're not trying to make this a Yankee segment, but, that just came to my mind. One of the things that we did ask you at the top of the program was hardest things to do in sports. Real simple question of the day for you. We said that because Stephen Curry's coming off 54 last night against the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. And you think of all the great performances in Madison Square Garden. You think of Jordan in his 55 when he came back out of retirement. Wearing number 45 on top of that. That was epic right there. You think of Kobe Bryant, him popping in over 40 on those guys. LeBron James did the same thing. You think of all the players that have come into Madison Square Garden, guys have had career nights. And last night was no different. Stephen Curry comes in and drops 54 in a losing cause. They still lost the game. That's pretty bad. You think about, guys coming in and scoring those kind of points and you still lose the game. I'm sure you asked the question, would you take your 54 or would you take the W? And of course they're going to say, no, I'd rather take the win. Well, we all know that's 2 non-vowels right there. How about that? He's taking that 54 because that's a personal accolade that he can always say, I hung 54 on these guys in here. I go down as one of the greats as far as all-time great performances in the most storied arena, as they call it, in the world. 54 is a lot of points, folks, and that's why I said earlier, to me, that may be the toughest thing that was done in sports. Can you put up 50 or more in an NBA game? Well, last night covering the Wizards, it's tough. You have to be not just hot, you have to be scorching. Because one thing that they do in the NBA that I've noticed, I don't care if it's a good team or a bad team, they will take things away from you that are working. If you see a guy can run down the right side of the court over and over and over, they're going to take that away from you. They're going to make you run down the left side of the court. If you're scoring points In barrages, you're hot. If you're putting up 50 plus in a game, that's pretty remarkable. That's why I've said, with my own eyes, the greatest feat I have ever seen in all of sports is Kobe Bryant dropping 81 points. It's unheard of. And it's unheard of that the team that he played against, Toronto, allowed him to get 81 points a game. His arm should have been broken after 40. Sorry. Stephen Curry, same thing, 54. Shame on you, New York Knicks. You didn't want it. That's what that was. Well, look, we're going to take a break. Top of the hour coming up, 4 o'clock here on the East Coast. Remember, coming up a little bit later tonight, Jeff Little live from Los Angeles, California, the Locker Room, 6 to 9 p.m. West Coast time, 9 to 12 a.m., 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. East Coast time. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, hour number 2 right here, Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis.
Let me tell you some of the reasons people get into trouble with credit cards. A job loss or salary cut, an unexpected expense, a divorce, a business loss, or even helping a family member or friend in need. As founder of Consolidated Credit, I understand that credit card problems are not about overspending. It's about emergencies and unexpected situations. For nearly 2 decades, Consolidated Credit has helped over 5 million people, just like you. The options for getting out of debt have never been better. We can reduce your interest rates and cut your payments up to 50%. The time to call Consolidated Credit is now. There's a lot of ways to get into trouble with debt. There's only one trusted way to get out. Consolidated Credit. When credit card debt is the problem, we're the solution.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Call 1-800-445-1912. That's 1-800-445-1912.
Want clear skin all over? Well, get set, because Proactive's Deep Cleansing Body Wash is back. And so is free shipping. 2 hot summer deals. Now Proactive clears acne on your face and body, so you feel confident all over. And the body wash is yours free when you order Proactive today.
The Deep Cleansing Wash, it really exfoliates the skin. I use that on my arms, my legs, my chest.
My skin was smoother. It got rid of the small little bumps on my shoulders and back.
Proactive has a $40 value, but with today's special offer, pay just $19.95, and your shipping is free. Plus, get the Deep Cleansing Wash free to polish your skin to perfection.
I went out and bought a little spaghetti strap dress, and it was a really amazing feeling.
Act fast, and we'll add a free travel-size green tea moisturizer. Don't wait. Order Proactive today and get free shipping, but only for a limited time.
Imagine, with a simple push of a button, you could be on your way to getting firm, sculpted abs and a sexy waistline with the Contour Core Sculpting System. It's the breakthrough technology that requires no machines, no getting on the floor, no stress, and no strain.
Contour. The Contour is the real deal.
The secret is Contour's exclusive auto-active muscle toning technology, the digital breakthrough that automatically targets all your abdominal muscles, including your upper abs, lower abs, obliques, and even that stubborn lower belly. Thermographic testing proves Contour activates your entire core. The Contour Core Sculpting System comes with a one-size-fits-all Contour Core belt, electronic controller with custom digital settings, batteries, and a 1-year warranty, plus an instructional guide and sensible eating plan. And it's all yours to try for 30 days for just $14.95. There's never been an easier, more effective way to get great-looking abs. So call and order right now.
Have you ever had an idea for an invention or new product? Bill Schaefer, one of the inventors of Whammo's new Splash Wash, did. He came up with the idea while watching his children play one hot summer afternoon. Bill invented a car wash for kids. Ride through it, run through it. InventHelp submitted the Splash Wash to Whammo, the makers of childhood favorites like the Frisbee, Hula Hoop, and Slip and Slide. If you have an invention you would like to try to patent and submit to corporations and want free information that explains how InventHelp may be able to assist you, call now. InventHelp is America's largest invention company with sales offices in over 50 cities nationwide. Call InventHelp today for free information. Bill Schaefer made a financial gain on the Splash Wash. However, most inventions are not successful, and Bill's experience is not typical of what inventors can expect.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-619-2363. That's 1-800-619-2363.
Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters,
this is a journey into sound.
I'm taking back this mind, and everything's gonna be just like it used to be.
You're listening to Sports Journey with Lake Lewis.
Folks, hour number 2 here on Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis. Had a great time during first hour. If you're just joining us, welcome aboard. Welcome along. Hopefully you have a great time with us as we just did. Hour number 1 just blew right on by. Bill Ladson from the Washington Nationals was senior writer with the Nationals, as well as MajorLeagueBaseball.com came on with us. And I thought Bill knocked it out the park. As always. Predictions of 108 plus wins for the Nationals this year. I told him to put him on the spot. He answered the question. We'll get him on a little bit later on, and we'll get his thoughts on that. New intro, try to change the pace up just a little bit. We're still going to hit you with that hip-hop, though. That's just the way it is. But, great audience out there supporting this program, and I appreciate it. A lot of people out there who've followed me for years, and they like what we're doing. Individually here at Sports Journey, and we've got a lot of great things on tap, and some really big things, kind of life-changing, game-changing things that we're approaching here rapidly with the network. And when the time comes, we'll announce some of those things, but they will change some things. Needless to say, they're going to change some things, so we're excited about that. Man, did you see Stephen Curry last night? 54. Guy went to work. I actually had a chance to do Mark Jackson's, and this might date some of you guys. I'm a little older. I'm getting a little older. How about that? Mark Jackson goes out, back in the day, and he used to do little shimmy on you right there, little shoulder shrug. And Stephen Curry did that last night. I thought it was big time. I really did. He went out and did it. Kind of pay homage to his coach. And it just so happened to be that he dropped 54 on Mark Jackson's old team in the city where Mark Jackson's from. So that was just epic, big time stuff all across the board. I thought it was pretty phenomenal. I really did. It's hard to score 20 points, 30 points in an NBA game. When you get into the 40s, you had a great night. When you hit 50, that's a career-changing night. Make no mistake about it. And I said this earlier. When you look at the elite point guards in the NBA right now, think about it. You look at the elite point guards, you think of Chris Paul, you think of Russell Westbrook, you think of a healthy Derrick Rose. But there's so many really good young point guards in the NBA. Where do you put Stephen Curry now? I mean, his name has to be mentioned up there with those elites. He has to be. Because when you drop 54 points and you're averaging 20 plus and you're playing the point guard position, rather you look at Stephen Curry as a quote unquote true point guard. If you look at this kid as just a pure natural shooter and scorer, I think you're missing the boat here. This guy is self-made. We understand when he came out of Davidson, he was just lighting it up on people. We remember the run that they had, and playing against Georgetown and in the NCAA tournament. You remember that. The kid was on fire, and you knew that he was going to be a great scorer in the NBA. A little slighter frame at the time, but he's worked on a lot. He's built his body up. He's trying to stay healthy because he's had a nagging ankle injury for, God knows, it seems like, 2 years now. But this kid has really come on and made himself a self-made player. And I think right now you're going to have to start really putting him up there. You know, am I saying he's better than Chris Paul? Am I saying better than Russell Westbrook? I'm Derrick Rose. No, I'm not saying that, because on any given day, those guys could drop 54 on you as well. Maybe not Chris Paul, because that's not his game. His game is predicated on setting up his teammates. But Westbrook, Derrick Rose, those guys put the ball in the basket too. But they do it a little bit more forcibly, not the same way, the way Stephen Curry does, and it's forcefully. Sorry about that, folks. I don't want you to think that I'm struggling with the lingo. Look, folks, some great deals this week at Best Buy. Again, if you're looking for Windows 8, you can come explore at Best Buy. Save $100 on any Windows 8 touchscreen computer. All right, you get a free screen cleaning kit with that as well. Some great Windows 8 products. So once again, you can go to bestbuy.com, you can go to sportsjourney.com, and click on the Best Buy logo there. So we've got some great things going on there. Coming up a little bit later on in the program today, we definitely will have our Adam's Dreams game calendar, where we let you know what's going on in the world of sports. Been a big hit with a lot of people. People, I guess, look for me to give them their fix, let them know what's going on in the world of sports. We're trying to, let you know some of the big games as we break these things down. And last night, when you go back to that 54, it just brought back great moments, as far as watching basketball games at Madison Square Garden. And you think about, Michael Jordan, we mentioned Kobe Bryant. You think of all those games, and you think of the numbers that were scored in Madison Square Garden. And I've always asked the question, what is it about Madison Square Garden? Is it the raucous fans? Because New York Knicks fans they're a little assertive. How about that, if that's the word I'm looking for? A little aggressive in nature. And they make you want to play well. They make you want to, give them something to make them sit down. Spike Lee, courtside, all the great actors, actresses, celebrities, courtside, they make you want to do a little extra something. And that's what you saw last night with Stephen Curry. Is it the arena or is it the fans? It's definitely not the team. I mean, the Knicks are right there, first place or tied, for first place in the Atlantic. And they're going to be a playoff team. They're going to be a team that there's going to be some expectations placed on them. I think right now, people are going to ask, are they better than Miami? Absolutely not. Miami is the best team in the NBA. Make no mistake about it. And they're playing the best basketball as the best team in the NBA. They're the number one seed in making for the NBA playoffs. They should be a team that I think will be favored to repeat and defend their crown. They're doing everything possible to show you that I'm not making this stuff up. But I do think the Knicks are a team that should have aspirations of playing that team, meaning Miami, for the Eastern Conference Championship. I know the Pacers are playing really good basketball. They gave Miami all they could handle last year in the playoffs, so I think that they're going to be a team that's right there. The Pacers, Roy Hibbert, suspended for a couple games. David Lee from Golden State suspended a couple games because of the altercation that happened 2 nights ago in Indiana. And Stephen Curry, you remember seeing him get thrown to the ground twice by big Roy Hibbert from Georgetown. So all he does is get up off the floor and drop 54. Amazing stuff. The sad part about it is they lost. This kid goes out, drops 54, 11 three-pointers, and you still lose. And to me, that puts a damper on it. I'm sure it does. 109, 105. You lose the game. That puts a damper on that. It really does. Carmelo Anthony, did his thing. Came out, dropped 35. J.R. Smith, 26. Great basketball game. If you like offensive fireworks, that was the game of the night. I don't like offensive fireworks. I liked old school basketball, 80s style, where you went to the lane, you got tackled. If this was 1980, Stephen Curry would not have 54 points. And this isn't knocking his game. I'm saying it from the standpoint that once he got to 30, it would have been tough. It would have been thug life. That's just the way it was. you would have been taken to the ground. Would have really been tough on him. Golden State, by and large, though, they're a team that has really run under the radar. A lot of people are not paying attention to this basketball team. And I've said for years, as long as I can remember, that I thought Mark Jackson would make a hell of a basketball coach. And you know what? He has. He has gone into Golden State, and he's changed the culture there. No offense, when Don Nelson was the coach, they were known as a scoring team. They were known to get up and down the court. You know, good basketball, don't get me wrong. They scored points. They averaged, 105 plus. Mark Jackson comes there. They're still scoring, but they're tough now, and they're not taking anything off of people. You remember against Houston. Houston, a couple weeks ago, had a record-setting three-point shooting night, and they were trying to break the record. They tied it. I think it was 24 three-pointers, to be exact. They were trying to break it, and Mark Jackson was sending hard fouls. The orders from the bench was nobody gets a shot off. And some people weren't happy about that. They thought that was a little unnecessary. You could get guys hurt out there, but he said it. He said, I'm coaching them like I played. I didn't roll over for anyone. He's not backing down. He took that straight street. That's what he did. I had no problem with that. I had an appreciation even more for Mark Jackson because he's old school. And the fact of the matter is, if somebody's having those kind of nights on you, you've got to break that. You've got to do whatever it takes to stop that from continuing to roll on. And I think that was the message that he sent. Last night, the New York Knicks should have watched his own tape, because there's no way you can let someone drop 54 points on you in your own building. That's inexcusable. That's like you sitting down at dinner and a stranger walks in your house and sits down at your dinner table with you unannounced and eats your steak right next to you, looks at you while he's eating it. Well, maybe not that harsh, but, it's bad. You cannot let that stuff happen. Not happening. So, 54. That's going to be the number to beat this year in the NBA. If you're trying to, come up with that one game, it's 54. I do think that someone can beat that. I think that now it's been set. The gamut has been set there. Now someone's going to be going for that. And normally what happens is, mark my words, you can look this up, folks. I'm not making it up. Whenever you have a big scoring outburst like that, a day or two later, someone else has another one. And I don't know if psychologically, I don't know if it's, something that people are gunning for, but I think that maybe it's, hey, it was done. I can do that too. But you start to see these things happen in consecutive days. I'm telling you, do not be surprised when we break down tonight's games if somebody goes off tonight and drops another 50. That's just the way it happens. I'm not making this stuff up, folks. I'm telling you. As always, if you want to chime in with me, you can email me at shows@sportsjourney.com. If you want to talk to me via Twitter or Facebook, it's very simple. It's Sports Journey. If you want to talk to me via Facebook or Twitter, follow me, whatever. On my personal Twitter, it's at Lake Lewis on Twitter. And for Facebook, it's Lake Lewis Jr. Once again, make sure you put JR there. Skype. Sports.journey. I have to remember that, guys. Sports.journey. You can follow me that way and talk to us via Skype. Had Bill Ladson from the Washington Nationals on earlier with us. Had a great time. And, he had an awesome prediction. We talked a little bit of everything, though. We've talked, just Stephen Curry. And, last night at the basketball game, I covered the Wizards. And you get a chance to see a hit like Greg Monroe. And I wanted to make it a point to talk about this kid. Not playing, homer here because, I went to Georgetown as well. I'm not doing that. But I'm saying it in this regard. That kid is an all-star. That kid is an all-star talent. And I think that if he weren't playing for Detroit, you would be mentioning his name with all the great young big men. That kid, flat out, you saw glimpses of it at Georgetown, but I wasn't sure if he could maintain the consistency that was needed to be dominant, because he just has that softer side. It seems like he's very low-key, not being soft like he's not tough. I'm just saying he just seemed like he was very low-key. You know, sometimes people, their demeanors when they're low-key, sometimes rub people as they're non-aggressive. And maybe we got caught up with that with Greg Monroe. That's not the player I saw last night. This guy's put on 20, 25 pounds of muscle. You know, he still puts the ball on the floor. He goes to his right now. We know he's left-handed. This guy last night did some extreme work against the Wizards. I was totally impressed with where his game is now in year 3. I was totally impressed. I'm sorry, year number 2. Totally impressed with where he is right now in his career. Brandon Knight, you know, another name that's gone by that people forget about as one of these other young great guards. When he was at Kentucky, people don't realize that they made a run when he was at Kentucky as a freshman, and he decided to come out. Most people do that at Kentucky. They go for 1 year and they're done. Hey, John Calipari, that's what he does. Still a great recruiter, and it's probably what he sells. You have a chance to play pro ball if you come to this program. So if that's these kids, that's what they're shooting for. You know, if that's the big picture for them, then Kentucky's your fit. I mean, I have no problem saying that. Well, Brandon Knight showed me a little bit of everything yesterday, and I saw it in pregame warm-ups. He was out there doing shooting drills. He has put some work into his game, too. Finished 28 last night. So Detroit, just looking at them, and I can safely say that was a game I was not looking forward to covering. I mean, no offense. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and come on the air and lie to you guys. I'm just going to call it like it is. I wasn't looking forward to going to covering the Wizards and the Pistons. Naturally, you have to. It needed to be done. I'm credentialed. Don't want the Wizards thinking I'm not down for the cause. But my goodness, I was not looking forward to that. That game ended up being a heck of a basketball game. Came down to a last second chance by the Wizards. Didn't happen, but I saw some young pieces out on the floor. Very impressed with some of the guys. Kyle Singler, for a former Duke player. I saw some glimpses of life and hope in Detroit. I'm not talking about the Wizards now. I'm talking about the Detroit Pistons. There were some things that I saw that told me if they can get a couple more pieces in Detroit, perhaps get themselves a bona fide point guard, because I think Jose Calderon, he's steady, but he's not that next level now, and he has trouble guarding guys at this point in his career. They go out and get themselves a legitimate point guard, or perhaps move Brandon Knight back. I think that Detroit is on their way to really, a respectable outfit. I think that they could do some things there. So, yeah, I was impressed. How about that? I was impressed. I'm not talking about NBA championship playoffs. We're not talking about that. I'm just talking about what looked like a bad night for me personally end up being one of my better nights personally, having watched that game. So I'm all the better for it. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're rolling along, folks. We're up till 6 o'clock tonight. No more guests. I owe it to you guys to just get back in this thing. We're going to be on from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday, starting Monday. Tomorrow, another abbreviated show because I've got to go back to the Verizon Center and cover the Washington Wizards. So we'll take a break. When we come back, more with myself, Lake Lewis. Hang tight.
You're listening to Sports Journey with Lake Lewis.
Are you stressed over credit cards and other debts, maybe through no fault of your own? Imagine how it would feel to have that weight lifted right off your shoulders. Well, here's some good news from America's trusted name in debt relief. Care One providers have already helped over 4.5 million people in debt, and we can help you today. Just call this toll-free number to speak with a friendly representative, and in just minutes, you'll get your free debt relief analysis.
Regardless of your situation, Care One has an option for you.
We are there to help, and we do that in a way that's empathetic and supportive without judging their financial situation.
The credit card companies, I feel, are trying to keep you in debt and trying to keep it so you owe them money forever. And Care One is a good way to get you out of that and get you out of it fast.
A big burden was lifted off of my shoulders.
Care One threw me a lifeline.
Call Care One. They will help you.
Get debt relief from a company you can trust. Just call the toll-free number today.
Health insurance update. This just in for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. Here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans, and yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could receive a choice of affordable plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-794-1817. That's 800-794-1817. Call now.
Hi, I'm Shannon Doherty. I've played the girl next door and the girl not so next door. I've produced, I've directed, but now I'm doing something I've always wanted to do for me. I'm on my way to getting my college degree. I logged on to Education Connection, the free service that showed me hundreds of schools and degrees so I could pick the right one. Now I'm actually getting my degree in liberal arts online. But you could get yours in business, in culinary arts, in nursing, in criminal justice, even a degree in technology. From my schedule, Education Connection showed me online has the most flexibility. I can study on the set, while traveling, anywhere, anytime. So do something smart for your future. Let Education Connection help you find the right program for free.
Log on now and get Education Connection's free success kit, stuffed with information about online degrees, schools, and scholarship advice. Log on now to 41educationmatching.com.
In 1990, in Southern Maryland, the daughter of a clergyman was discovered by a music industry insider while pumping gas at a service station. The odds of her getting signed and spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of this former church choir singer going on to sell 40 million records? 1 in 15 million. The odds of the same woman winning 6 Grammy Awards and starring in 2 Broadway plays? 1 in 75 million. The odds of this musician and performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Guys, can you just give me a little space here? You just parked a little close. Guys, come on, guys. I got a meeting. Never mind. These guys.
Stuck between a bad job and a hard place?
Ron, did you notice maybe you clipped me a little bit there?
CareerBuilder.com. Start building.
Ron!
Serious sports talk for the serious fan.
All right, folks, we're back. Had some emails come through during the last segment. And as always, again, if you want to email me during the program, all you have to do is email me at shows@sportsjourney.com. Once again, email me at shows@sportsjourney.com. Chris, what do we have here? Chris says driving off the tee on the 18 at the Masters is the hardest thing to do. Yeah, I think so. I think it could be tough. But see, you have to be a professional golfer to do that. Because you said the Masters. You didn't say driving off the 18th at Augusta. You said driving off the 18th at the Masters. So I think if you're a professional golfer, that's not hard. Because you're not going to whack anybody or hit anybody that's standing, in the lanes that go right down. But I do know this. I would not want to be standing there even if there was a professional golfer there. Because what happens if one day no one's perfect? You shank a ball and you shank that thing right there within 10, 15 feet. Ooh, somebody's getting hurt. That could be a bad situation right there. So, yeah, I think that's fair. Dwayne says that hitting for the cycle in Major League Baseball is the hardest thing to do. I appreciate the email, Dwayne. Yeah, hitting for the cycle is extremely tough because you have to have a little bit of luck involved with that too. I mean, think about it. You hit, you get a single, and you get a double, where everyone knows what you're going up for next. And you can't just go up to the plate and say, I'm getting a triple. I mean, you need some things to happen. So normally the way it works out is you get those two things first, okay? You get your triple. You get a home run or something. I mean, you think about that. If you're hitting for the cycle, you need a lot of luck with that. So, yeah, I can see that being, now that I think about it, I can see that being one of the more tough things that you can do in sports. No emails yet as far as 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I mean, again, are you asking that as a normal, quote-unquote civilian? Are you saying that as a non-athlete or as a non-professional? Yeah, that's hard. You go to your local batting cage and just tell them, set this thing on 95 miles an hour. Well, the pitching machine might give you straight pitches right down the pipe. Right down the pike. You know where it's going. But in Major League Baseball, you're standing there being looked down on the mound. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball doesn't just come right down the middle. It could come up near your head. It could come, it could go behind you, put a scare in you that way. So there's different variables and different mental things that you're going to have to deal with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball coming at you as a professional. Big difference from, and then some people may argue with me on that when they may say, well, if you're a professional, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball being thrown by a pro pitcher probably is going to have more accuracy because those guys, are very accurate. They can pick their spots, pick and choose where they want to place the pitch. An amateur doesn't have the accuracy. So therefore, you may be at more risk to see that unless it's a pitching machine. But I think we all know we're probably talking about a pitching machine, at a local batting cage. Question of the day again. What is the hardest thing to do in sports? That's what we've been talking about briefly, off and on. So, again, if you want to email me at shows@sportsjourney.com. Talk to me on Twitter at sportsjourney. NBA. I mean, we've been talking about it. We're going to take this up until 5 o'clock where we talk about the NFL Combine. And I'll give you my thoughts and assessments on what went down with the NFL Combine. Lou Musto, Diane Cheeseborough did a great job breaking down the combines for us at Sports Journey Broadcast Network. And you can go to our website, sportsjourney.com, where you will see all the great articles and things that they've put together. Really, really, really insightful stuff there. So I encourage you to definitely check that out. NBA. Right now, with the NFL season being over, and right now with March Madness, right here, pretty, 2.5, 3 weeks away, I think that the NBA has an opportunity to address some things with some of the fans. And the other night we obviously saw a little spill. I don't put too much into those things. Shouldn't have happened. I'm sure the guys would tell you the same thing. There was a little altercation in Indianapolis between the Pacers and the Golden State Warriors. Guys were properly and rightfully, suspended for a couple games. David Lee, Roy Hibbert. And I think that the NBA coming off a shortened season, coming out of a lockout, I think that this is an opportunity for the NBA to do some things right for the public. Because I've talked to a lot of people, white, black, male, female, you name it. And they are down on the product that's on the floor in the NBA. They don't relate to it. Whenever you have young, and it needs to be mentioned, when you have a young urban product on the floor and the play isn't that good, that becomes a problem. I mean, that's just the way it is. You got to call it like you see it. That becomes a problem. I think it depends on what town you're in as well. Obviously, here in D.C. or you go to Atlanta, you go, maybe you can say in New York, for that matter. You have representation from all cultures. It's a mixture. You don't know who people are, but it's just a mixture of fans. So you don't really have to deal with it too much. But if you are in a small market per se, and your product is struggling, and the market is not a heavily, say, a minority market, that can present itself to be a major problem for you. And I think that the NBA right now has to go about doing some things here to make the product on the floor better. They really do. Naturally, they're going to say there's no problems, but they're looking at it in the terms of LeBron and Kobe and Kevin Durant and those elite superstar players. But there are more players in the NBA that are probably warranting no contract, and they're there and they're getting paid, and they're getting paid extremely well. This isn't the NFL we're talking about. This is the NBA where money is guaranteed. And I think that the NBA, they're going to have to take a good look at this this rule of 1 year of college and then you're eligible to come into the league. I've said on so many occasions that that's garbage, that's a crock right there for them to even do that, because I said this all along. If an 18-year-old can go across the world and hold a gun and be in harm's way fighting a war so I can sit here and do a show and give you my opinion, then how dare the NBA say the kids can't come in to shoot a basketball? Well, before you jump off the next exit and you'll get mad at me for saying this, unless, because there's a clear unless there, unless you're going to really make it a point and concerted effort to better a young man's life, to come in and play good basketball on your product, you can't do that. So what I've proposed is this. You want to make your product better on the floor, then you up the ante. That's what you do. You up the ante, not money. You up the ante for the guys who are eligible to come into the league. Don't give me 1 year of college. Because let's face it, break this down. A lot of you out there listening, a lot of you out there watching right now, you went to college. And let's be up front. If you knew that after December, okay? If you knew after you took your finals in December, if you knew that you were going to be a multi-millionaire, would you really make a concerted effort to go to class for your second semester? I don't think so. If you truly made an effort, I don't think so. And that's where I think the NBA has dropped the ball as far as a product. They really have. If you want to make these kids really earn their keep and have a better product, then what you do is you make them go to school for 3 years. Okay? The worst thing that can happen is if they go to school for 3 years, they come out, they have enough credits to have an associate's degree. You can't say they left with nothing. So for all those people out there who are going to argue that, okay, here we go. These guys are coming out of school getting all this money and they have no education. Well, you can't use that argument anymore. The other thing that will greatly improve is if these kids are in school for 3 years, the product on the court's going to be better because these kids are going to have grown into basketball players, not street legends, not high school phenoms. We're talking about professional player caliber. So the NBA has a lot to do here. I think that there's a lot of wrongs that they clearly can right. Because I'm telling you, as a media member, when I'm looking at the product on the floor, it does not translate in a lot of arenas to the product that's buying the tickets. And that is a problem. Again, if you're in a major market, you probably don't deal with that problem because of the diversity of those areas. But if you're in the Milwaukees of the world, if you're in the Oklahoma Cities of the world, thank God Oklahoma City is a great basketball team with a great talent in Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, the class act setup that they have there in Oklahoma City. But let's face it, what if Oklahoma City had what I see on the court, out of 14, 15 players, what if Oklahoma City had 11 or 12 African-American players on the court and they stunk? That could be a problem. And I think that you have to seriously take that into consideration. So again, the NBA right now has a clear opportunity to right some wrongs to make this a better product. So yes, I'm proposing again, as I say, don't give me this 1 year of college crap and then you can come play in the NBA. Make those kids stay 3 years in school if you want to do something good. If not, you have to scrap the whole rule. Don't give me a little bit, give me everything. Make them go to school for 3 years. College game will improve. By the time these guys come out after 3 years, if they do decide to do that, they're going to be more tailor-made and ready to play in the NBA at a high level. And then secondly, you may convince a guy, if he's gone to school for 3 years because it's mandatory, they may just say, you know what, let me just do that 1 extra year and I'll have my 4-year degree before I go to the pros. So you have to give them things that are going to make them want to do more. One and done, garbage. It's a smack in the face. It truly is. We know what that's about. As I've said, if you can put an 18-year-old with a gun and send them over to, the Middle East or wherever, you're fighting wars, you're telling me that an 18-year-old can't shoot a basketball for a living? That's a problem, folks. Got to fix that. So look, take a quick break. And when we come back, I will be wrapping up hour number 2 here, Sports Journey with myself, Lake Lewis. Hang tight, everyone.
Tired of lugging out your heavy, bulky pressure cleaner? You need the amazing Water Jet. It turns your ordinary garden hose into a super power washer, powerful enough to clean second-story windows. Here's how it works. Water flows through the volume reduction chambers where pressure builds until a powerful jet stream blasts through the precision-engineered solid brass tip. The control valve regulates the water pressure, great for siding, umbrellas, and awnings. Blast grime and weeds off brick and paver driveways. It attaches to any garden hose so you can take it along boating and camping. Quality built with stainless steel, aluminum, and solid brass, and only $19.95. You'll also get the bonus fan tip that creates a powerful fan-shaped spray. Scour away mold, scrub wood decks and docks, patios and pool decks, cars and trucks. Dial back the pressure to gently water flowers. There's more. We'll double the offer. You'll get 2 amazing water jets and 2 fan tips for only $19.95. Just pay additional processing and handling. Call to get the jet.
To order Water Jet, call 1-800-973-9853. Call now and we'll double the offer. Call 1-800-973-9853.
NCAA women's basketball. All day, every day. Our game. Filling it up, knocking them down, and bringing it home. It's basketball at its purest. Family fun and great entertainment, there's nothing like it. NCAA women's basketball. All day, every day. Our game.
Dear Bowflex, I dropped 8 dress sizes, 36 pounds, and all I had to do was walk.
This is the Bowflex Tread Climber machine, the easiest way to walk and burn up to twice the calories in less time. By combining the motion of a treadmill, a stepper, and an elliptical, you get the calorie-burning benefits of all 3 workouts at once.
I lost 30 pounds in 4 months. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Call now for your free DVD and information kit. You'll see how the Tread Climber burns up to twice the calories of a treadmill. Plus, you'll learn how you can own a Tread Climber machine today with special financing for 18 months.
Within the first couple of weeks, I started to lose inches. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months using the Tread Climber.
Call or go online to buytc.com for your free info kit. We'll also send you the Bowflex Insider's Guide with a personal fitness assessment to help you jumpstart your Bowflex body today. Absolutely free.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Bowflex.
Sincerely, J.D. Weber.
Attention if you have diabetes.
Hello, I'm Alan Thicke. As the father of a child with diabetes, it's important that I keep up to date with the latest in treatments and technology. That's why I'm happy to tell you about a breakthrough in diabetes care through CCS Medical. You don't need to stick your fingers anymore. This new meter allows you to test on your arm, so it's virtually pain-free. Plus, it uses gold test strips. Real laser-etched gold in every strip provides the ideal testing surface for one of the most accurate readings possible. Best of all, CCS Medical can send you this meter at no cost. With CCS Medical, they deliver your diabetes supplies to your home. They work with Medicare or your insurance to process the paperwork. They even have nurses certified in diabetes available to answer questions. And for a limited time, CCS Medical will also send you a diabetes ID bracelet. All this from a company trusted and recommended by thousands of doctors around the country. Call CCS Medical today.
If you want to shed fat and get a body that's shredded, then it's time to get on the rack. The Rack is a complete total body workout system, and it's the hardcore hardware that adds a whole new dimension of variety and intensity to traditional bodyweight exercises. You get explosive chest, shoulders, and back, big arm blast, and ripped abs on the rack, a fat shredder workout, and a total body muscle building express workout, totally ripped on the rack. Order now and get this special Get Ripped on the Rack 30-day trial for just $14.99. When you order, also ask how you can get the Rack system shipped right to your door for free. As an added bonus, you'll get the Rack Nutritional Guide, custom workout guide, and special Bartender's Workout DVD, plus shipping. That's a total value of $60, all for free, but only if you order right now. Call now and order the Rack Total Body Workout System for this special 30-day trial of just $14.99.
This is the Sports Journey Radio Show.
And we're back to Sports Journey with Lake Lewis on the Sports Journey Broadcast Network.
All right, folks, I had to get into that. That's a nice little backdrop beat right there. Love it. Very nice. So anyway, folks, let's get back into it. You know, we were talking earlier about those 16 seeds. You know, we came on and talked about Penn State getting Michigan last night, beating Michigan. Big win from a school. I'm not going to play my, school theme anthem. I'm not going to do that. We'll save that for another day. People here are sick of hearing about Penn State from me, so I'm not going to go there. But we did take down a big school. Anyway, with that being said, it opens up the door for some people thinking that perhaps this is the year that you're going to have, literally number one seeds getting bounced. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the games will be much more competitive, but I don't think that you're going to see this year's number one seeds losing that first game. I think the gap has closed. I agree. I think that most coaches will tell you nowadays that clearly there is parity in college basketball. But with that said, I don't know if you're going to see that kind of parity. You know, those would be historic upsets. That doesn't happen. And you have to think about what I'm saying here in the sense that since the tournament field was expanded to 64 teams in 1985, number one seeds are 112-0. I mean, that's just, you're talking 100%. Nothing is 100% in life. You know that. They say, oh, you give it 110%. What in the heck does that mean? It's 100%. And most of us don't give anything we do in life 100%. It might be impossible to humanly do that, meaning there's nothing close to perfection. 112-0, that's perfection. That tells me that the number 1 seeds own the 16 seeds. Own them like they bought them and dressed them. I don't think you're going to see that happen this year either. It's going to be 116-0 going into next year. It's not happening. The games should be more competitive, and I think that's the first step. You've seen that over the years. Maybe one number one seed just doesn't play like they really care. The game looks close in the first half, and then all of a sudden it's 30-point blowout, 40-point blowout. This year, you may see a number 1 seed win by 20, win by 15, and if you want to go with moral victories, which I normally don't try to live life by, but in that situation, if you're a number 16 seed, and let's just say you draw Duke and you lose to them by 15, that's a moral victory for your school. It is. You can say, hey, we played Duke tough. You play Indiana, number 1 seed. In my opinion, they will be a number 1 seed. You play them tough. You lose by 15. You can say, hey, we played with a powerhouse, traditional power, and we lost to them by 15 in the biggest stakes there were in the NCAA tournament. That's a moral victory for a small program. I tell you what, and I've said this before, and I'm going to bring it up again, until people take it seriously. You seriously want to put a scare into those number 1 seeds? See, I'm going to say this, and this might get me in trouble here. When you see the Mike Krzyzewskis of the world, when you see the Tom Creans of the world, the Bill Selfs of the world, the Jim Boeheims of the world, when you see the upper echelon elite coaches in college basketball, the Izzos of the world, Tom Izzos, when they say things like this, that it's conceivable that a 16 seed could beat a number 1 seed, you know what they're saying? You know what they're doing? And I don't know if they've sat down and thought about this. I'm sure some of them have, and they're strategically saying this comment. They're saying it so that nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in the sense that when you play a small conference in the NCAA tournament, most of the time, the team that's representing that small conference is the team that won their conference championship, their conference tournament championship. But that's my point. If these 16 seeds were teams that had won their regular season conference championship, meaning if they had a 16-game schedule in their regular season conference, or let's just say 12-game schedule, and they were 10-2. If it was 16 games, they were 14-2. That's a dominant basketball team in that conference. Make no mistake about it. That's a dominant basketball team in that conference. Problem is, the NCAA rewards the team that wins the conference tournament. So you could be a team that Penn State, let's just use my school as a perfect example. They won their first conference game, okay? You think about that. They get into the Big Ten tournament, and if they win that tournament, they get in that large bid. That can't be the case. That's just wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong on all facets. So what you do is you reward whoever wins the Big Ten regular season. That is a guaranteed bid into the NCAA tournament, okay? It should be the same for a small conference. If that team, let's just say hypothetically it's Leesburg University. There's no such thing. I'm just giving you hypotheticals. Leesburg University, small school, but yet in their conference, they're kicking tail and taking names. Okay. Then they get to their conference tournament, and they just have one of those bad games that great teams have themselves. And they lose. They're not going to the big dance. They're going to be NIT bound. That's not good, because what it means is if I'm in the Big Ten right now and Penn State found a way to get hot for 3 days over a weekend and win the Big Ten tournament, I'd be absolutely livid, because that's representation of your conference that's going to get into the tournament and get smacked like they're in a back alley. That's basically what's going to happen. You can't have that, folks. You have to have teams that have proven it on a day in and day out, nightly basis, that they're the best teams coming from those conferences. Then I would be worried if I was a number 1 seed, because that 16 seed that you're playing is a really good basketball team that's proven. It could be a team that's full of seniors that know how to play together, that don't get rattled. Then you would be seeing this. So when I hear these elite coaches saying that it's possible now that, we could lose to a 16 seed, that's garbage. And that's saying that so that you keep this status quo the way it is. You've got to change these things. This is clearly what's going on here. Clearly what's going on here. You want to scare those teams? Give me a real team that's in the tournament, not some junk that got hot for 3 days. I don't want to see that. Just like they do in college football. You have to win, I think, 6 games to be bowl eligible. Well, in college basketball, they need to do the same thing. Just give us a magic number. Okay, you need to win 19 games in order to qualify for the NCAA tournament. That's great. What that means is if you're some junk and you got hot for 3 games, you won your conference tournament, you just get a banner. And that's cool. That's my point. That should be good enough. It should be good enough to say, hey, we won our conference tournament. Look at the banner up in the rafters. That's great. That's what you want. But the best team in that conference should be playing in the NCAA tournament. And again, I really, in my heart of hearts, believe that this is done systematically for a reason. Because you want, it's about money, folks. This isn't anything different in any walk of life. It's always about money. You think this crap that's going on right now, 10 miles down the road in D.C., do you think this stuff going on right now is, it's partisan and bipartisan? No, it's money. It's money involved. You take care of me, I'm going to take care of you later. I'm not going to sign on this because you're going to sign on that for me later. That's the way this game works. That's just how it is. If you're a young kid listening, learn something here. As my father used to always tell me, let me learn you something. That's just the way it is. And that's exactly what's going on right now in the NCAA. I am not high on the NCAA at all. At all. I think that what they're doing is a total sham. I think the University of Miami situation is garbage. I think the Penn State situation was garbage. Heck, I'm even starting to rethink my whole thoughts on SMU from 1986 when they shut down their program. I'm starting to wonder about that too. Junk. So anyway, folks, it's time for me to take another break here. I get on that sometimes. I just have to. I just have to let it all out. I mean, come on. Yeah, we're going to lose to a 16 seed. Are you serious? You wouldn't even say any crap like that. Unbelievable. Do you think I'm going to believe that when the proof is in the pudding, when it says right here, right in front of you, 112-0 over the last 30 years? Come on. It's not happening. It could happen if you do the right thing. Come on. Maybe a number 2 seed, maybe a number 3 seed. Number 1 seed, absolutely not. Because those 4 teams that are picked to be the number 1 seeds, there's 4 every year. They pick 4. Those 4 must win for the NCAA, for TV contracts, for the alumni base of that school. They must win for everybody to do what? To make some money. I got to do this to make some money as well. We got to go to break. We'll be right back.
Let me tell you some of the reasons people get into trouble with credit cards. A job loss or salary cut, an unexpected expense, a divorce, a business loss, or even helping a family member or friend in need. As founder of Consolidated Credit, I understand that credit card problems are not about overspending. It's about emergencies and unexpected situations. For nearly 2 decades, Consolidated Credit has helped over 5 million people, just like you. The options for getting out of debt have never been better. We can reduce your interest rates and cut your payments up to 50%. The time to call Consolidated Credit is now. There's a lot of ways to get into trouble with debt. There's only one trusted way to get out: Consolidated Credit. When credit card debt is the problem, we're the solution.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
Call 1-800-445-1912. That's 1-800-445-1912.
Want clear skin all over? Well, get set, because Proactive's Deep Cleansing Body Wash is back. And so is free shipping. 2 hot summer deals. Now Proactive clears acne on your face and body, so you feel confident all over. And the body wash is yours free when you order Proactive today.
The Deep Cleansing Wash, it really exfoliates the skin. I use that on my arms, my legs, my chest.
My skin was smoother. It got rid of the small little bumps on my shoulders and back.
Proactive has a $40 value, but with today's special offer, pay just $19.95, and your shipping is free. Plus, get the Deep Cleansing Wash free to polish your skin to perfection.
I went out and bought a little spaghetti strap dress, and it was a really amazing feeling.
Act fast, and we'll add a free travel-size green tea moisturizer. Don't wait. Order Proactive today and get free shipping, but only for a limited time.
Imagine with a simple push of a button, you could be on your way to getting firm, sculpted abs and a sexy waistline with the Contour Core Sculpting System. It's the breakthrough technology that requires no machines, no getting on the floor, no stress, and no strain.
Contour. The Contour is the real deal.
The secret is Contour's exclusive auto-active muscle toning technology, the digital breakthrough that automatically targets all your abdominal muscles, including your upper abs, lower abs, obliques, and even that stubborn lower belly. Thermographic testing proves Contour activates your entire core. The Contour Core Sculpting System comes with a one-size-fits-all Contour Core Belt, electronic controller with custom digital settings, batteries, and a 1-year warranty, plus an instructional guide and sensible eating plan. And it's all yours to try for 30 days for just $14.95. There's never been an easier, more effective way to get great-looking abs. So call and order right now.
Have you ever had an idea for an invention or new product? Bill Schaefer, one of the inventors of Whammo's new Splash Wash, did. He came up with the idea while watching his children play one hot summer afternoon. Bill invented a car wash for kids. Ride through it, run through it. InventHelp submitted the Splash Wash to Whammo, the makers of childhood favorites like the Frisbee, hula hoop, and slip and slide. If you have an invention you would like to try to patent and submit to corporations and want free information that explains how InventHelp may be able to assist you, call now. InventHelp is America's largest invention company with sales offices in over 50 cities nationwide. Call InventHelp today for free information. Bill Schaefer made a financial gain on the Splash Wash. However, most inventions are not successful, and Bill's experience is not typical of what inventors can expect.
For your free inventor's information, call 1-800-619-2363. That's 1-800-619-2363.
Are you stressed over credit cards and other debts? Maybe through no fault of your own? Imagine how it would feel to have that weight lifted right off your shoulders. Well, here's some good news from America's trusted name in debt relief. Care One providers have already helped over 4.5 million people in debt, and we can help you today. Just call this toll-free number to speak with a friendly representative, and in just minutes, you'll get your free debt relief analysis.
Regardless of your situation, Care One has an option for you.
We are there to help, and we do that in a way that's empathetic and supportive without judging their financial situation.
The credit card companies, I feel, are trying to keep you in debt and trying to keep it so you owe them money forever. And Care One is a good way to get you out of that and get you out of it fast.
A big burden was lifted off of my shoulders.
Care One threw me a lifeline. Call Care One. They will help you.
Get debt relief from a company you can trust. Just call the toll-free number today.
Health insurance update.
This just in for all uninsured Americans with or without pre-existing conditions. The recent health care bill will not take effect until at least 2014, leaving families and individuals lacking health insurance with no immediate solution to their concerns. Meanwhile, medical problems continue to be the #1 cause of bankruptcies. Here's the good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide affordable health insurance for all uninsured Americans, and yes, uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Call the number on your screen now, and in less than 10 minutes, you could receive a choice of affordable plans from the Hotline Network. This is not a discount card. You will have access to doctors, hospitals, dental care, infant care, and emergency services. Call the health insurance hotline now and get you and your family covered today.
Call 800-794-1817. That's 800-794-1817. Call now.
Hi, I'm Shannon Doherty. I've played the girl next door and the girl not so next door. I've produced, I've directed, but now I'm doing something I've always wanted to do for me. I'm on my way to getting my college degree. I logged on to Education Connection, the free service that showed me hundreds of schools and degrees so I could pick the right one. Now I'm actually getting my degree in liberal arts online. But you could get yours in business, in culinary arts, in nursing, in criminal justice, even a degree in technology. From my schedule, Education Connection showed me online has the most flexibility. I can study on the set, while traveling, anywhere, anytime. So do something smart for your future. Let Education Connection help you find the right program for free.
Log on now and get Education Connection's free success kit, stuffed with information about online degrees, schools, and scholarship advice. Log on now to 41educationmatching.com.
In 1990, in Severn, Maryland, the daughter of a clergyman was discovered by a music industry insider while pumping gas at a service station. The odds of her getting signed and spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of this former church choir singer going on to sell 40 million records? 1 in 15 million. The odds of the same woman winning 6 Grammy Awards and starring in 2 Broadway plays? 1 in 75 million. The odds of this musician and performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.
Guys, can you just give me a little space here? You parked a little close. Guys, come on, guys. I got a meeting. Never mind. This guy.
Stuck between a bad job and a hard place?
Ron, did you notice maybe you clipped me a little bit there?
CareerBuilder.com. Start building.
Ron!